What's up, everybody? It's Mr. McBride. I want to get into everything quick because I do have quite a bit I have to talk to you about, and I want to make sure I have enough time because this thing only lets me do 15 minutes worth. What's up? I hope you've all had a great week. I hope you've all gotten everything done for all of your classes. I hope you've gotten everything done for mine and all of your others, and you're not getting stressed out over all of this. I hope that everything is going fine with you and your families and you're all staying safe. And if you guys have any questions or concerns about anything other than what's going on with my class, just let me know. I'll be able to help you with anything if you have any of that. So a couple of things before we get started with the actual assignment for this week. First off is I am going to be doing the same video for English 1 and English 3 together. So this is going to be for both English 1 and English 3. English 1, I need you to listen to this real quick. I will be sending every single one of you an email this week with login to StudySync. I need you to go ahead and set up your account whenever you are prompted for that. It might be next week whenever you're prompted to do that or so forth. But if you get an email from me, when you get an email from me that gives you your login, your password, and your username to get into StudySync, do not delete that email. Keep it. I don't want you to have to lose that and be emailing me late and on Friday night of the next week and asking how do I get on StudySync, yada, yada, yada. It's going to be with that email that I'm sending you this week. And I will put a reminder on Google Classroom whenever I have sent those emails out to that class. All right, so be looking out for that. It will be from me. Check your spam if you don't see it after I've already told you that I've sent it and so forth. But just be looking out for that. It is it is a login information to StudySync. That is what we are going to be using for the next 2 weeks after this week, for the rest of the school year, actually. All right, so be on the lookout for that. All right, back to English 1 and English 3. So we are going to be doing basically the same concept but over English 1 and English 3, but I want English 3, I want you to push yourselves a little bit farther than English 1 is going to because, well, you should be pushing yourselves a little bit farther than them anyways. I shouldn't have to tell you that. But anyways, we're going to be doing this thing called a summary assignment. I know that summary might sound simple to a lot of you guys, and some of you might be like, well, what is a summary? How do I summarize something? Well, let me help you out for a second. All right. I've noticed one thing, and that is it is very hard for a lot of us to summarize important details. After hearing a lot of conversations between a lot of teenagers, because, well, that's what I do in my job is listen to teenagers. Whenever you're talking about what happened or conversation you have with your friend, every detail is spoken. If I am asking one of my friends, hey, tell me about what happened last night. I heard you got upset about something. I'm not going to want every detail. If I want every detail, I'm going to want them to tell me every detail. I'm going to say, tell me every detail. Probably what I'm going to say is, hey, real quick, what happened? All right? Give me like 1 or 2 sentences explaining what happened. Just tell me real quick. I got upset and I ran out of the house. All right? That's a simple summary about what happened. All right? Why did you get upset? Well, I got upset because of this happened and yada, 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 and so I ran out of the house. That's a summary. If I wanted every single detail, I would ask them, and then we'd go on for 5-10 minutes. Whenever you ask your friends, so what did you and your girlfriend talk about last night? Well, we talked about this and this and this and this and this and this and this. That's not a summary, all right? That's every single detail. A summary would be, oh, we talked about what we wanted to do for Christmas. Were we getting each other presents or not? All right? And so that's a summary. That's a summary of what you're talking about. Now, summaries are important when you are doing one of two things. One, expressing that you understand material, and two, either proving something for an argument, proving something for a main point of something, or helping give some background information in regards to certain topics. If you can tell, right here is some pretty lengthy instruction of what we're going to be doing. All right, I'm going to give you a few different resources to help you write a summary. So we're going to need, you're going to read any nonfiction article, news, sports, analysis, etc. I will have multiple different articles for you to choose from, or watch a short nonfiction documentary or one episode of discourse series. Sorry. Reality TV does not count. Docu-series. I can't speak. I'm sorry. And then write a summary no less than 3 sentences and no more than 8 sentences. Now, I don't want you writing more than 8 sentences or less than 3. Follow that. All right. The summary should include major information someone would need to know to understand the article or show including title or where you found it. It should also include the main idea of the article and all of the major points and arguments beginning, middle, end. Spoilers are allowed and encouraged. If you're giving a summary of something, you have to include the important details. I'm not going to look up a summary of the Avengers Endgame if I didn't want to know spoilers of the Avengers Endgame. If I'm looking up a summary of the Avengers Endgame, I'm going to want to know what happened at the end. All right? So that you give spoilers. That's encouraged. In order to do this correctly, you may have to read or watch the article or show more than once. So pick something that you're going to be interested in. All right. Here's so this little article right here, it tells you how exactly to write a summary. I chose this because it gives you every detail that you need. All right. So how to write an article, how to write a summary of an article. All right. This could go for a story. This could go for a documentary, a docuseries, anything like that. When should you summarize an article? To show the author's ideas, support your argument, to argue against the author's ideas, to condense a lot of information to a small space, or to increase your understanding of an article. All right? Those are the reasons why you would write a summary. Or whenever I say, hey, write a summary of this so you can tell me that you understand it. So the summary has a bunch of different things in it. Not a bunch of different things, but multiple different things in it that make it a summary. It has the main idea of the article. All right, it is conveyed clearly and concisely. The summary is written in a unique style of the writer, and the summary is much shorter than the original document. So if I'm asking you to write a summary over The Great Gatsby, if I'm asking you to write me a summary of The Great Gatsby, I'm not asking for a verbatim, this is every single detail that happened in The Great Gatsby, because that would basically be The Great Gatsby written in your own words. I am asking for a short paragraph about what happens in certain sections of The Great Gatsby. I'll say, hey, write me a summary of Chapter 1 of Great Gatsby. I'm not asking for a 5-10 page summary. I'm asking for a paragraph explaining what happened in Chapter 1. All right. The summary explains all of the important notions and arguments or things that went on, and the summary condenses a lot of information into a small space. So you get a lot of stuff, and you bring it down to a little bit. All right. You're going to be picking articles that are kind of lengthy. I'm not looking for you to rewrite the article verbatim. I'm looking for you to summarize the main ideas in that article. Or you're going to be watching a 45-minute documentary. I'm not asking you to rewrite that documentary verbatim. I'm asking you to do a shortened version, like 3 to 8 sentences of what went down in that documentary. How do you summarize an article? These are the 3 things, or this is the main thing that you're going to be doing. Identify the main idea or the topic. You're going to identify the main idea or the topic of the article. And then you're going to identify important arguments. So those are 2 things you're looking at. Main idea and important arguments following that main idea. Then you're going to just write your summary. That's the 3-step process to writing a summary. And it goes into depth in every single one of these. I don't have time to go word for word for this. So I'm summarizing what you would be saying. But look in depth if you need help understanding how to write an article. Remember, this link is in the assignment. All right? So it lays the first step out, verbatim of what I need you to do, all right? Tells you how to identify the main idea or the topic, all right? Then you scroll down, it tells you how to identify important arguments, all right? How to identify the different arguments that are going on in the article. And then you have write your summary. It gives you sentence starters to introduce your the summary for this article, all right? Here's an introduction sentence starter. Or here's a sample introduction to a summary. That's 1 sentence. Notice it's not 5 words. All right? A sentence should not be 5 words. All right? We're not in elementary school. You're writing complex sentences. Okay? You should know how to quote somebody if you're going to quote. I'm not asking to make you quote, but you should know how to quote. All right? It tells you how to introduce the ideas of the article and the ideas of the author in the article of the summary, and so forth. All right? So it gives you everything that you need to know, and it even gives you an example, all right? Right here. That is an example of a summary. Notice it's not super long. It's 3, maybe 5 sentences long. All right. It's an example summary paragraph. That's what I'm asking you to write. It's not that long. All right. So if you look over here in the assignment as well, first I want you to turn it in electronically. I need you to do this because that's where I keep up with everything. Okay. If you can't turn it in through Google Classroom, take a picture of it, send it to me in an email. All right. But just create a Google Doc, write your summary on there, tell me what article, and give me the link to the article in the document so I can know what you're writing a summary over. All right. There are also great websites on here that you can go to. You can just copy and paste these links and go to these. The Ringer is nice. Here, I'll show you the Ringer. I have it right here. This has to do with sports and pop culture. Notice at the top it has multiple different categories: NFL, draft guide, NBA, coronavirus, features, podcasts. These are different podcasts you could listen to. And then here are different categories you could look at. So this is just a homepage. You see right here, The Last Dance delves into into the worm and the Zen master. All right, it's talking about Michael Jordan and the 90s elite Bulls. If you are a sports person, this might be for you. The NFL draft, winners and losers of the 2020 NFL draft's first round. All right, so I'm going to click on this if it will load. This is the article. You can't see it all because the screen's not letting you see it all. But this is the article. All right. It's kind of lengthy. There are shorter articles and there are longer articles. But this is the article that you're going to be, if you choose this is what you will be summarizing. All right. Then The Atlantic is another one you could use. This has to do mainly with politics. It also has to do with news and media. It also does pop culture as well. All right. Here's one for somebody who is more into video games. Theartifice.com. Make sure to put the dash in between there. But there are multiple different like film, TV, animation, anime, manga, comics, games, literature, arts, and writing. So they got a bunch of different articles on here that you could look at if you really want to do something over nerd culture, is I guess what they call it, nerd culture. So if you are into that, this might be something for you. I mean, X-Men Timeline. I kind of like the X-Men Timeline, or the X-Men itself. So here's a good little article you could use if you want to do something over the X-Men Timeline. I know they kind of release their movies in an odd order, so this might help you understand that. All right. So those are just three of a quite few different articles or websites you could go to. You can go to any and all major news websites: NBC, CNN, Fox, BBC, NPR, etc. I'm not looking for something that's super credible. I don't care what your bias is in these situations. Just find an article that you are interested in that you do not mind reading multiple times to help you do this assignment. All right? So find an article that you're interested in, read it, write a summary. If you need help understanding how to write a summary, this link will help you, okay? Then, once you have written your summary on a Google Doc, turn it in through here. All right? If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to set up a Zoom. I am traveling this week, so in the middle of the week, so if I don't set up a Zoom, I'm sorry. I'll try my best to do that. But if you have any questions, email, Google Classroom, Remind, any of those will be perfect. All right? Hope you guys are doing great. Peace out. Have a great week. And please let me know if you have any questions.